Shubor nakaslem jong unongsan Hima.
Kakanhun Menteri Hanigasngi Kalamanjur Banwan Rai Kajingpan Kala Yaka Meghalaya State Investment Promotion and Facilitation Act Araja Arpusau Banpet Bakan Omdon Kajingpan Khen Yaka Meghalaya Land Transfer Regulation Act Shajak Naispa Hanyu Puwe Habakran Makinong Thokubor Menteri Rangba Kajila Ula Pentip Makinweng No Yaka Para 34 Dakba Bsuh No Daka Bakan Omdon Kajingpan Khen Yaka Meghalaya Land Transfer Regulation Act Shajak Naispa Hanyu Puwe Ula bentip ru ya karai jong ke Sorkar ban penkelano ya ke kerteng jong ke Investment Meghalaya Agency, Syah ke Meghalaya Investment Promotion Authority, lingba ke amendment. Menteri rangba oleh thuru badang hakini kendiat sengi ke kenhun jong ke HEDC hak jingalam jong CM ubak penyai sing CM. Kila penpau ya ke jingbom sengau ya hap halor ketuk ni ki benta nak liang ke Sorkar hadian bakal sengap ya ke jing ajimut jong ke HEDC. Kala shim ya karai ban besuk lang ya ke jing ajimut jongki ke bakentup ya ka jingwanra jingkela ya ka para 34 jong kanikaan. Ula benrap da ka baong baka don kam ban yo jingbet na ka district council bat kimla ban yat lat naka baro ki NOC bat ki jiran kam di ban yo jingbet shwa na ki district council. Ula benrap da ka baong baka Sorkar ka kentup lang ya ka we ka bentah kanikaan kata babaro ki karkhana ki di ban aikam ajam ya ki brio na ka jela.
That was taken in the cabinet today was the amendment in the Meghalaya State Investment Promotion and Facilitation Amendment Ordinance Act 2024, and we have brought in an amendment in the Meghalaya State Investment and Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance for 2024 is being brought in. Earlier, there used to be a single window agency which used to handle the different investment projects in the state. But because of the wide spectrum of sectors, which also includes today the health sector, the agriculture sector, the tourism sector, the IT sector, the power sector, and obviously the industry sector. The investment horizon has really broadened. And hence, we needed a larger or a much more broader based authority to look into this particular aspect. And that is what led to the creation of the Invest Meghalaya agency at that point in time. And accordingly, the act was passed. Now, during the course of time, there were certain concerns that were raised by individuals and also the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council. The CEM and other members had met me in regards to this and raised some of these small issues and concerns that they had from their side, and not just the district council, but the public at large. So after detailed discussion with the CEM of the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council and the other members, there were certain suggestions which were made, and we are happy to incorporate some of those suggestions. The first one is that there is a particular clause in the Act. The clause is clause number 34. And this clause spoke about certain other laws and certain other provisions which this particular act would override. Now, I just want to clarify to everyone that this particular clause that was there, the Article 34 of this particular act, was very, very specific to the common application forms. Now, in the past, the single window agency required certain applications to be made to them in certain forms. The MUDA required applications to be made in certain forms. The MTDC required the applications to be made in certain forms. And hence, in order to avoid the amendment of all those 6-7 different acts to incorporate the provisions of this act, we had put this provision in this act to override those provisions in those acts. And the basic powers of this were very, very specific to the common application form and did not go beyond that. So I just want to clarify that. But since it has created a bit of confusion with the district council and other members, and also to some extent from the public side also, the government has decided and the cabinet has decided to repeal the article or this para 34 of this act, which is creating this confusion. And we are now going to amend the other provisions that is there in the single window agency, the Meghalaya promotion policy, or the Tourism Act, or the other acts which were being affected by this. We will make the necessary amendments there and remove this particular para 34 to avoid any confusion among the people, and adding one line to this, in fact, saying that this particular act shall not be in derogation of the Meghalaya Land Transfer Regulation Act 1971. So we are specifically putting that clause to avoid any confusion among the public, because we felt that there was a confusion in this, and the District Council and the CEM had mentioned this to us, and hence we are removing that para and adding this line that this act shall not be in derogation of the Meghalaya Land Transfer Regulation Act 1971. Second concern which was there, which was raised by the CEM of the Khasi Hills District Council, Bapat Niyat Singh CM, was regarding the aspect of the different provisions under the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council. In this particular act, in para 13, we already have the provisions of the details of the combined application form. In this, the different provisions of the state are mentioned. There's a specific paragraph that mentions that wherever the forms and fees have to be prescribed as per for clearances in any central law, the application shall be submitted to central government. So in order to ensure that we take care of the concerns of the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council and our CEM and other members, we are including or incorporating one more paragraph in this to say that, provided further that where any form and fees has been prescribed for such clearances from the ADCs, the applications shall be submitted only in that very form along with the fees to be submitted. Which means that we are clarifying, of course it was already done in the past. It's not even that we needed to put this paragraph out here, because that is a normal procedure that is followed, where the permissions from the council have to be applied to the council. But since there was a confusion regarding that, we are introducing this paragraph very specifically to clarify that the applications, the permissions, all the NOCs, whatever required from the autonomous district councils will have to be taken up through the district councils, and separate forms will have to be applied to the respective district councils. But since there was a confusion, we have introduced this paragraph to clarify and clear that particular confusion, so that nobody is confused that the question of bypassing the Khasi Hills District Council or the Garo Hills District Council or the Jaintia District Council does not arise. The provisions among these councils for any kind of NOC or permissions that are required by these investing agencies will have to be taken up. So that's the second important part which we wanted to also clarify. The third part which we also are amending is that we are including one para in this which is making it mandatory for employing local people. So this will be now in the Act itself. So the section 2A is now going to read, subject to the overall control and superintendence of the government, the governing council shall provide overall policy guidance and directions under this Act. Then we added, ensuring that the incentives under the policies will be provided to industries who are creating employment for local people, in bracket, individuals domicile of Meghalaya. So we are adding this clause to ensure that the employment is given to the local people. The last amendment we are making is overall to give the structure a better name and better structure to the agency. As we know that this agency, the Act itself is called the Meghalaya State Investment Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance, and hence in line with the Act itself, we are calling the authority now the Meghalaya Investment Promotion Agents Authority. I repeat, it will be called the Meghalaya Investment Promotion Authority, which is MIPA, M-I-P-A, instead of the Invest Meghalaya Authority. This is being done, as I said, because the Act itself uses the word promotion and investment, and it starts with Meghalaya. So, as I said, the Act is Meghalaya State Investment Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance Act. So, similarly, the authority will now be called the Meghalaya Investment Promotion Authority. Yeah, we've addressed this by putting that clause in the Act that says that the Act shall not be in derogation of the Meghalaya Land Transfer Regulation Act 1971. So like today, MIDC, MTDC, GAD, MECL, all these government authorities are mandated to buy land. Similarly, the Mipa, which is not IMA now, it's called the Mipa. The Mipa also is authorized to buy land. And just to clarify, so because this concern is there among the people, we have specifically inserted this clause that says that this act shall not be in derogation of the Meghalaya Land Transfer Regulation Act. So I think it's very clear. There's nothing more to clarify. So that's exactly what you're saying. So the problem is only that district council has got its own mandate, and they are implementing things. Sometimes we finding that the Rangbashnongs also at their level, they have got different mechanisms which they're doing. And sometimes, the state government also has got different programs and policies. The idea is really not to interfere into anybody's powers, but just create a platform so that all of us sit together. And so that I can tell the Rangbashnong that, look, this is the road that I was thinking. What do you think about it? Rangbashnong will say, well, no, we don't want the road here, we want the road here. Then district council will say, well, we are thinking of this side, the road. So there, we are just allowing everybody to come together, because there is no mechanism right now to bring everybody together. And yet development is continuing, and so much of town planning is happening. So this basically forum or this particular program is nothing but to bring everybody together. And it specifically says that if anybody has any objection to any project, including an individual or even the Rangbashnong or anybody, that project will not go through. So it's really creating a very conducive environment for different organizations to discuss. Now, this is also mandated by Government of India, because many places the developments take place, basically because there are multiple authorities, but they don't talk to each other. And that leads to a lot of, unplanned growth that's taking place. So only to facilitate the discussions and facilitate a platform which will allow different stakeholders, including citizens of the locality, and of course the Rangbashnong and the entire Durbar, and of course the district council. This platform or this program will facilitate that particular aspect and bring people on board so that they can talk to each other. And as per the laws that are there mandating each one, those will continue.